All right, shalom, shalom to the nation of Israel, shalom. All right, this is your brother Kazaki out of Great Millstone, New Orleans, coming at you with another lesson through the spirit of power, Yahweh Shem Al Shah, right? But prior to getting started, we want to give all infinite honor and glory to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'Shem Al Kakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone who rule and teach well. Peace, blessings, and salutations be to the hopeful elect scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, all right? And the title of today's lesson is going to be ESAU the War Criminal, Part 2, all right? That's the title of today's lesson is ESAU the War Criminal, Part 2, okay? And, I did a previous video on ESAU basically going in, infiltrating Venezuela, taking the oil, taking Maduro captive. Okay, and these are war crimes, man. Right? These are war moves, powers, movements, so that ESAU, the Edomites, could do what they do best, man. Go throughout the earth with the sword, right, and destroy people and take resources. Okay. Now we're moving on basically to the next segment in which he's talking about getting Greenland, man. Okay, so ESAU is beginning to make the move on an entire different country, all right, which is the United States is making this move, man. Okay, and this is going to stir up the nations to basically hate the whore, man. All right, and basically ultimately want to burn her with fire. Okay. And this is the times, man. We're pretty much, in the last days, right? We're at the preliminaries of Jacob's trouble. We're basically in Jacob's trouble. Okay. We see the Northern Kingdom, getting, basically ISIS coming to get them, right? They're being sent off to prisons. No one's ever hearing from them again, so to speak. Okay. It's only a matter of time before the Lord puts the spirit on ESAU to come after you tribes, man. Okay, right? You so-called blacks, okay? You so-called Native Americans and Seminole Indians. Okay, it's only a matter of time before he comes basically after the Southern Kingdom. Okay, but we're gonna get into this quick little video, this little segment here. It's just a few seconds about Trump basically taking over Greenland. Okay.
We are going to do something on Greenland, whether they like it or not, because if we don't do it, Russia or China will take over Greenland, and we're not going to have Russia or China as a neighbor. I would like to make a deal, the easy way, but if we don't do it the easy way, we're going to do it the hard way. We are going to do.
So right then and there, man, he just told you. Okay, what did he say? He said we want to make a deal with Greenland, right? We're basically going to invade Greenland, whether they like it or not, man. Right? Now, we want to make a deal with them, right? Which means basically ESAU is just saying, hey, look, we're just going to come in there. We're going to come with democracy and all the rest of that BS, right? Which, if I'm not mistaken, Greenland already have ties with NATO. And Denmark came out and said that if the United States overtake Greenland, okay, then they ain't going to... basically, that's going to dismember NATO, so to speak. Okay. And then the U.S. comes back out and says, Trump comes back out and says, without the U.S., there is no NATO. Okay. So we seeing these different nations, right? We seeing the 10 horns, right? In Revelation, the 17th chapter. If I'm not mistaken, we seeing them, go up against each other, man. Okay. This is all a part of biblical prophecy, man. All right. So like I said, it says Trump, U.S. will do something on Greenland, whether they like it or not, because they don't want Russia or China getting over there. Right. The deal was to basically give Greenland some money. Right. And just recently, I believe Greenland say they strongly oppose or refusing the U.S. to come over there. Right. Because the NATO, right, when you look at a lot of the NATO nations, they're basically on one side, one spectrum, one end of Russia, right? If the United States get Greenland, it will be on the opposite side, man. So they'll kind of have them, on both sides of the border, so to speak. These are war games, okay? That's what this is. I'll let it play again. And
something on Greenland, whether they like it or not, because if we don't do it, Russia or China will take over Greenland, and we're not going to have Russia or China as a neighbor. I would like to make a deal, the easy way, but if we don't do it the easy way, we're going to do it the hard way. We are going to do something.
And there you have it, man. Okay, so this man is just proclaiming to overtake nations in general. He just talked about the Mexicans, so-called Mexico, right? Which would be another part of the 12 tribes. Okay, I believe they're the Ishakarites. Okay, right? He also talked about Colombia. Okay, going in there. So this man is just gonna go around taking over nations. You know what I'm saying? Imagine it. Imagine him taking over nations and capturing leaders, right? And bringing them to some type of, jury extradition or whatever, saying that they're guilty of this and guilty of that. But meantime, you're going in and taking the people's resources, right? And just literally just taking over the land and doing what you want to do with it. Okay? This is the devil, man. This is the devil that the Bible speaks of, man. Only a devil would do something like that. Okay? Now I'm going to go. Let's get this here. All right, we brought this out before, but hey, look, this is the times we in, man. The prophets are going to bring out these same scriptures because, this is what, fits the prophecy, man. This is what's going on. Okay? This is Micah 2 and verse 1. It says, woe to them that advise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. It says, when the morning is light, they practice it. Okay? It says, because it is in their power, right, of their hand. It says, verse 2, and it says, and they covet fields, right? Covet fields, okay? So they're going in, right, and taking other lands, man. They're going in and taking other people's land masses, and that's the time frame that we're in. Because I used to think, well, what is it that the United States are going to do to basically make everyone angry? What are they going to do to piss everyone off? Where everybody will turn against them, okay? And basically shoot missiles, at them, okay? Because that's biblical prophecy that the United States, right, which is Babylon the Great, right, the virgin daughter of Babylon, that great city, right, the whore will be destroyed with fire, according to the scriptures, man, according to Yahweh Bashim El Shai, okay? And we can see that these other nations aren't liking the moves that they're doing, all right? And it says, and take them by violence, right? They're not coming in with all kinds of treaties, deals, okay, to make things happen. No, they're coming in and taking it by violence, right? They're taking it by force, okay? That's what they're doing, okay? And it says, in houses, right, and take them away, right? So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage, right? So they not only oppress, right, or not only take away the land, but they actually literally oppress the people, their own heritage, their own customs. They'll take that away from them too, okay? And we see that throughout the annals of history because this devil's known for doing such things. Very simple, right? Very easy, right? He come in there with the sword, right? That was his blessing. Right, and he come in there, he get the work done, right? This is what this is what he's good at, so-called. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and get another precept real quick. And I think I want to play another video, potentially, that goes into a longer segment of the same thing. All right, this is Isaiah 10 and verse 1. It says, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that right grievousness which they have prescribed. Okay, unrighteous decrees are being declared, man. Right, we're seeing the country itself move more and more and more into draconian laws, into draconian measures, right? Which means you'll be basically judged, right, for the smallest, most pettiest crime, with a harsh punishment, a harsh judgment. Okay, and it says, verse 2, and it says, to turn aside the needy from judgment and take away the right from the poor of my people, right? Because Jacob's trouble isn't as steadily and continually increasing, man. Okay, to the point where the scriptures say in Matthew the 24th chapter, if this devil isn't stopped, there won't be no flesh saved. Okay, he's bloodthirsty, right? He's on a way to do a killing spree and a complete bloodbath. Okay, and the only person that could stop him is Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, man. Okay, everybody else is just extras or what they call lanyap in the movie. Okay, that's it. All right, and it says that the widows may be their prey, and it says, and that they may rob the fatherless. Right, man. And that's what this devil does. Okay. Okay, that's what he's best at doing. Matter of fact, let's get this real quick. So we talking about robbing the poor, basically, you know. Okay, this is Proverbs 22 and verse 22. It says, rob not the poor because he is poor, right? Because so these people don't have as much resources as you, right? They don't have as much things that you have, okay? You know, so you figure the need that you could just go and take what they have, right? And honestly, who's gonna stop you? You know, be honest with it. Who is gonna stop you, right? This devil has in his heart that no one's gonna stop him, man. That's just the truth. Okay, it says because he is poor, right? Neither oppress the afflicted in the gate. And it says, for the Lord will plead their cause and spoil the soul of those that spoil them. Yeah, so the Lord, you rob the poor, right? Okay, you rob the needy, right? You take their resources, okay? The Lord's just going to take from you, right? You know, it's not, you know, the concept, you know, is really not hard. Okay. See if I could go back. Right. Real quick.
In Greenland, whether they like it or not, because if we don't do it, Russia or China will take over Greenland, and we're not going to have Russia or China as a neighbor. I would like to make a deal, you know, the easy way, but if we don't do it the easy way, we're going to do it the hard way. We are going to do something on Greenland.
Well, do it the hard way, man. That's all we got to say about it. Do it the hard way. Right? Go in there, right? And do what you do best, man. Take out the people. Okay? Because we want this thing to be underway, man. We want a World War III underway, man. Okay? Right? These prophecies must come to pass for the return of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, man. Okay? So damn the soft shit. And let's get the work done. You know, let's do what's what you would say is so-called necessary. All right. You know, but yeah, like I titled today's lesson is Esau what, man? Esau is the war criminal of the earth, man. Okay. He's going in, he's taking over land masses, and he doesn't give a damn, right? Head speared by the so-called, you know, United States, so-called to speak. Okay. Right. But, you know, that's pretty much all I have through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shah. You know, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying first and foremost to the hopeful elect, you know. But prior to getting out of here, we want to give all infinite honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, our Kakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone who rule and teach well. Peace, blessings, salutations be to the hopeful elect, man. And, you know, Lord willing, this be the year we get out of here, you know, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai, you know, all hell breaks loose. All right. But, Kwame Yasha Allah, Ababa Ball, and Shalom.